Shalom from Melbourne, Australia. This is Simon Karaoke. Yesterday, history stood still in Kenya. The streets spoke. The silence broke. A generation rose not for themselves alone, but for all of us. From Thika Road to Moi Avenue, from Kisumu to Mombasa, Genz showed up in thousands, armed with smartphones, satire, and fierce hunger for justice. They didn't just march, they ministered. They weren't destroying property, except maybe for a few places, but they were declaring destiny. I quote, "We are awake, we are watching, we will not inherit silence and surrender." End of quote. As I watched and prayed, one truth rang loud. This was not rebellion, it was revelation. Not just a protest, it was prophetic. The Lord brought Esther 4 to my heart. When Mordecai wept in sackcloth, Queen Esther tried to send him clothes, thinking perhaps that some clean garments would fix a deeper crisis. But Mordecai refused. He knew this was not a wardrobe malfunction. This was a nation on the blink. Kenya leaders, particularly the government or the current regime, must not clothe the current crisis with cosmetic speeches, reshuffles, harsh money, or hollow apologies. We must face the moment and face the mirror. Where olive branches were needed, we yielded batons and fimbles. Where listening ears were needed, we offered barricades and blocked broadcasting. There is a picture trending of a young lady who used a stick to leap over a barbed wire fence. A TikTok clip joked, "Huyu anaweza ruka boyfriend yake in a second." Chuckled. I laughed, but I also moaned. Has our government become so fenced in that it thinks it cannot be reached? Genz, you shook the gates, now shape the future. You raised your voice, now raise your vision. If you are calling for change, then what kind of Kenya do you envision? If the presidency was to be vacated, who do you see with the capacity to rebuild and reform the nation permanently? One term is a good call, but who occupies the next term and can change the trajectory of the nation? Have you vetted all the current candidates that have presented themselves? Are they any different, or they will continue in the same narrative of the current government? Are you yourselves ready to lead or still being prepared? Maandamano ni mwanzo, mageuzi ndio safari. Na kama hamtapewa nafasi, tengenezeni nafasi. To the church and the elders in our beloved nation, Kenya, this is not the time for pulpit silence. We cannot speak in tongues on Sunday and stay muted on injustice, corruption, extrajudicial killings by Monday. We cannot cry for revival while ignoring the reformation of our nation. I speak today not from the towers of power, but from the gate of intercession, as a father, as a citizen, and as a watchman. Kenya is weeping. Kenya is waiting. And this generation is not to be vilified, but to be partnered with. A new decree must be written. Young voices must be heard. Old wounds must be healed. Kenya haitakufa. Kenya itasimama. Kenya itaimarika. Tujitokeze. Tuchukue hatua. Tuombe. Tujenge. Tushirikiane. God bless Genz, God bless all the Kenyans, and God cause the healing of our land. In Jesus' precious and wonderful name, amen.